Welcome everybody to the August Love Story. It's Tommy T and my beautiful wife, Artieka.
Hey.
How you doing today?
I'm alright, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Just had a long day today.
I understand. I have had a long last 3 days.
Yeah, I know.
Been interesting.
Been very interesting. Today's episode is about continuing to date your spouse. So date night. It's interesting. We don't do date night like we should.
Nope.
But this episode should help us out a little bit as we discuss that.
We can make some changes.
We can definitely make some changes.
Pivot.
Pivot from what we're doing. We I mean, like, everything is pretty much an adjustment for us now just because of Lily, you know. So we just really we just got to focus in more on what got us to this point. So I want to start this episode off by just talking about the importance of date night. Why do you think, or why do you say it's important to date or continue to date your spouse?
It's a reconnection, like weekly, or bi-weekly, or whenever you do it.
Okay.
It's like being able to look forward to actually spending time together one-on-one. Like, I always knew that us having a baby would make things more difficult, which I don't understand why people have babies to fix relationships, because that's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
That's backwards.
But having a baby, like, makes it harder to be one-on-one with each other, because there is always a third person in the room.
Yeah.
And if you have more than one kid, third, fourth, fifth person in the room.
Yeah.
It just makes it a lot more difficult, and you don't have the chances to just be together until the child is at least older.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, especially new parents, it's just difficult, and you have to have the time to, like, I don't even want to say it's a reconnection. It's just a connection at this point, because it's like everything that we do is either for self or for the baby.
Yeah.
Like, we don't think about each other's needs in that manner.
Okay. Well, what I was thinking about was, like, for the importance of date night is, like, when you first start talking to a person, you realize that you still trying to get to know that person. So you take that person out, you go to the movies, you go to the park, you go to the...
You have them home before it's dark.
Right. You go different places with them, you go on dates, you try to impress them and stuff like that. But when it comes to being married, you still have to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
The saying of, to keep them, you got to do the things you did in the beginning, it stands true. But you still have to do those things, as far as, like, going to the movies, going and making the time, because it's a timing thing. Like, I don't know who said it, but I recently heard it. The Fabulous mixtape
that you keep listening to.
That I keep listening to. He was like, your time is more valuable than your money. Mm-hmm. You know, and I feel like that proves the importance of dating your spouse. It's you're giving your time up for your spouse, even though you've said, hey, I love you, I do, this is me and you against the world, but still you have to take the time out to actually learn that person. You know what I'm saying?
Or relearn that person, because we
change.
Person. I was actually listening to another podcast, and there were two couples on it. One of the couples got married when they were 20 and 21.
Yeah.
And the other couple, I think they were like 29 and 30, which was closer to how we were when we got married. And they were talking about how they had to, especially the couple that got married at 20 and 21, they're like 36 and 37 now.
Probably
they were talking about
minute.
they were talking about how they had to relearn each other as adults. They're like at 20 and 21, we're pretending to be adults.
Right.
Like even though they got married and they were in very adult situations, like they got married and within like the first 3 or 4 years of marriage, they had their first kid.
Yeah.
They're like, we grew up together, but now we know who we are.
Yeah.
And we have to relearn who we are as people and not just who we were when we were 20 and 21.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we've only been married for 3 years at this point. But the guy that I met at 18 is not the guy that I started dating at, 26?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And he's not the same guy that I married at 29.
Right.
Nor is he the same guy that I'm married to now at 32.
Right.
And it's like, you didn't change at your core, but you did change and evolve.
Yeah, and I think that's the key thing for dating your spouse is the evolution of the person, because I strongly feel that when you marry, you become one, and that team, that oneness between you two, you guys evolve into something completely different from what everybody else knows you for. You know, and so since that being the case, you still have to, I got to get to know you. I have to become, as I like to say, I got to get intimate with you. And not in a, I mean, like, yes, in a sexual way and not in a sexual way. I have to spend time, become more intimate with you as the person. You know what I'm saying? As the character, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Because your roles change. Because now it's a different aspect of you that I've never seen before. You know, and it's a different aspect of me that you've seen before, but you've never seen it on this side before. So, you know, you got to get to know that new person. And
not even just like the parent aspect of it, like, there was this comedian on Facebook, and I've probably showed you her videos before, but she used to make these videos that was like, I'm in my about to be 30s or about to be 40s. And it's like, you grow and change and evolve as a person during those times. Like, when you're in your transitional moments, not necessarily like you just happen to transition at 30 years old, but the things that you care about at 30 are totally different from the things that you cared about at 25.
Oh, definitely.
So you have to like grow and evolve as that person. And it's like, it could be that at 25 you used to care about going to the club and all those things. I'm sorry guys if it sounds like I'm confused. Lily's trying to wake up. Like at 25 you could have cared about going to the club or going out and, you know, hanging and doing this, that, and the third. But at 30, your priorities are a little bit different. Yeah. So you have to learn that person and their new priorities and be able to spend time and, as you say, be intimate with those new priorities. Right.
Yeah, so it's very important, as we can conclude, that it's important to continue to date your spouse. What are some of the difficulties that you see in quote unquote date night or having date night?
Right now, Lily.
Other than her.
Who's making herself known. I know that one of the difficulties that we previously had before having her was time. Yeah. You were working a full-time job, full-time student, and then I was just way too pregnant to care about anything. Yeah. And so that just made it very difficult for us to be able to have a sufficient date night. Yeah. Like, it was too hot for me to go outside. I just didn't care about much of anything. And you were like, I got a test.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the hard part for me as well. You know, it's something to get used to with dating with a child. Like that was something I was like always trying to think, how can I take her out? How can I, continue? How can I start dating her? Because it was like once school started, I'm working full time, like you said. Like date night was like, I was like, what's that? But that's still a difficult part for me is dividing that time up to where it works.
You gotta get better time management skills.
Oh yeah, you too, ma'am.
Well, it's usually you that's keeping us from dating.
But another difficulty for me was just everyday life. Ins and outs, being tired, seeing that you're tired, not being creative enough to think, okay, what can we do? Or not even putting the importance of it or thinking about the importance of dating. Finances was another one. I feel like it's a cop-out excuse when you say, I can't afford to go on a date now. I feel like that's a cop-out.
Yeah, because we had some of the best, brokest dates of our lives at like 26.
Right.
Like $10 could stretch us like 12 hours.
Right. So it's just, finances and it's more so of I don't have it, so I'm not gonna worry about it. And still everything piles on how important, like what's important, or what do you prioritize when you're in your life. And for me, it's my thinking is, I'm providing. I have to provide. If I don't provide, I'm not doing my job as a husband.
Right.
I got to make sure we have a roof over our head, blah blah this, bills are paid, blah blah this, and I don't think about date night because I'm doing all of those things. And so since that's my main goal or my main priority, or what's inbred in me is to, hey, I gotta provide, I gotta pay the bills, I gotta make sure we got food, I gotta make sure of this, I gotta make sure of that. Who's thinking about dating? Who's thinking about, oh, well, let me take my wife out? I don't have that. I don't put that as an important thing, but just growing older and older, just noticing that that's important as well.
We have to raise where that is on the totem pole.
Right, definitely.
As a priority, like not necessarily just to say, yes, Lou just burped. Not just to say that you have shelter, food, but like love is a basic need in the hierarchy of needs.
Yeah.
Like, and dating is not necessarily love, but it is extending love and showing love.
Right.
So it's like you don't just have to feel the love, but this is an opportunity to see it and express it.
Yeah. Another thing is it being one-sided. Feeling like, or feeling the pressure of, I always have to come up with something. I always have to pay for it. I always have to do this. I always have to do that. That's pressure. When it comes to it, it's like, okay, I got to figure out a date to go on. I got to figure out, how I'm going to pay everything. Make sure that we, it's just pressure of having to do everything.
And I remember, we mentioned it on the episode that we did with Erica and Damon. I made that little date jar, and we haven't utilized it in quite some time.
Right.
But like it made it so that there were like no thought to the dates.
Yeah.
And it also made it so that there were some that were free.
Yeah.
Like, and we divided free as winter and summer, because it's easy to say we're just going to go to the park and have a picnic in the summer, but you can't do that in February.
Right.
So it was like we made those, and we just have to get back around to those. And sometimes I guess our dates are not going to have to be 3.
Yeah. But no, like the thing that I was thinking about with that, it's always pressure for me to be like, okay, because even with that, you say it's on me. It's on my schedule and stuff like that. That's pressure. It is, because it's like, where do I find the time to say, hey, we can go out here? I'm still planning this date, even though it's already planned out. So it's still like me telling, okay, well, I gotta do this if it's always on me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I definitely understand what you're saying.
So, you know, with that, with the pressure of having to, you know, figure out what we're gonna do for dates and when we're gonna go, and then still having to provide as my role as we, you know, basically laid out or whatnot. Still having to do all those things, it makes it hard. You know.
So I guess basically, okay, how do you absolve yourself from feeling like that's too much for you? Like, what do you give to me? Because at first it was planning it, so I took on the planning, and then it's like, okay, so now we just need you to make the time. Does it become easier to say, hey, tell me I need you to be free Friday at 7?
Yeah,
that would make it
like
better.
a lot of times it's like, hey, what do you have to do this day, or I want to go out and do this on this day. But a lot of times, like how it is now for us, it's if I don't say, well, we can go here this day, or we can do that this day, then we won't do it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I can see you saying that.
But if it's like you come up to me, like it has to be a two-way street.
Okay.
It can't be a, you know, we only go on dates when I bring it up. You know, okay. You have to like. I feel like it's not. I feel like a lot of times when we think of date night, or when I think of date night, it's always I have to take you out. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
And you want to be taken out.
Yeah.
You want to be courted.
I do.
Oh, okay.
I do.
I never knew that about you.
I do it like it's you know it could be, you know, we gonna go out on a date and I still have to pay for everything. You know
what if it's a free date? Then nobody's paying.
Then nobody's pays for anything. But
or what if I'm paying for it?
I'm gonna shut my mouth. I'm gonna
say that like that's never happened.
I'm gonna do one of those things they call shut the hell up.
Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna do that.
You don't do that very often.
But you know, it has to be a two-way street. You know, just to take some of the pressure off of the spouses. Mm-hmm. You know, because it's a lot of pressure just to remember, hey, I still gotta date my wife, or I still gotta date my husband. Just because life gets in the way.
Okay.
You know?
So I guess we need to have a dating challenge.
Yeah.
Amongst each other.
We definitely do.
All right. So we're going into 2020 with a challenge.
With a challenge. That's
I've already got one date lined up for us this month. You just don't know it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I got a babysitter.
Yeah.
And we're going on a date.
Oh, okay.
I can't promise I'm going to pay. I'm working on it.
Oh, okay. All right.
We're going to go on a date.
Well, that works for me. That's interesting. I don't know what to say about that.
You gonna like it too.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
No, but I mean,
maybe.
Right. But I mean, like I always like the idea of the sticks in the jar and we just pull one. But I think we have to expound more on that particular thing, because it's one thing to say, hey, we're gonna pull sticks, but it's another thing to say, hey, we're gonna pull sticks and go this day or do it that day and just actually plan it. Because like I'm learning now to actually plan out more things. That's something I didn't do in the past, and things just go whichever way. But it's like I said, it's some action behind all that stuff. Like we can pull sticks all day, but if we don't say, hey, or give it a date or give it a deadline, we'll never do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know the one time that I can remember that we did it, like I just like pulled a stick, put it in a card on your pillow.
Yeah.
And when you got home from work, it was there. It's like, this is what we doing. You tell me when. And
see, that's the thing. It's like, you pulled the stick, just say, hey, we're going to do this time.
We were in school. I can't tell you when.
But I mean, like, you know when I'm going to have a test. Like, it's that's the thing. It's like, it's a simple question of, When do you have a test?
You gotta meet me though.
What you mean?
Like, if I can pull the stick and say we're gonna do it this week, you should be able to at least say, okay, Wednesday is it.
No, like I feel like if you're doing that, then you just set it up. Like,
okay.
Like
so whoever pulls the stick does all the work.
Yeah. Like why would we like it's your date?
Oh, okay. Okay.
But
I'm learning.
That's the thing, you know, is like go all the way. Don't half-ass it. You know, just do it completely. You know, if we're gonna do date night and you pull the stick and like find out what you need to find out to plan this date. Mm-hmm. You know, like I wouldn't if we was just dating each other or you know girlfriend and boyfriend. I wouldn't be like I want to take you out, but you got to tell me when you can go out.
So you want me to be like Friday? Wear something.
Yeah, I'm gonna just find like that's what we did.
Okay.
Like, cause when I asked you when we went mini golfing the first time that we tried to debate on if it was a date or not, I think it was a date to me, but
okay.
I didn't call you and ask you when you got to go to work. You know what I'm saying? Or anything like that. I was just like, hey, you want to go mini golfing today?
Yeah, you did. You just said, hey. No, you asked me what was I doing on whatever day it was. I had just gotten laid off of a job, so it was kind of like, all right, nothing.
Right.
Gotta be free because I don't have any income and the money I have saved needs to go to my rent.
Yeah.
So.
But I came up with everything. Mm-hmm. I think I actually came and got you.
You did.
So, you know. Date more, I guess.
Date more, date often.
Yeah.
So, challenge.
Challenge.
We are going to challenge ourselves to date more.
Okay.
And not just dating often, but having quality dates.
I got you.
With each other.
Yeah. Okay.
With and without Lily, apparently.
Apparently. I got you.
Okay.
I can do that. Challenge accepted.
Okay.
Alright. So, you guys date more. As you can see, it's always a work in progress. So, date more and see what you come up with.
Date more, date often.
Right. So, do we have any listener letters today?
We do. So, send your listener letters to our August Love Story at gmail.com. That's OURAUGUSTLOVESTORY at gmail.com. Or you can submit it to us via the Facebook page or Instagram page, both of which are called August Love Story. So today's question, again, comes from an anonymous person. Everybody sending stuff wants to be anonymous. They're not even asking like.
I don't want them to know.
But they're not even asking like questions that are like truly personal to them, where it's like somebody would know. Ooh, that's your cousin.
Is this the same person?
No, they're not the same person. So this question is, when you guys were starting your relationship, how did it affect your friendships? Like
friendships with other people?
Obviously.
I stopped talking to them.
Okay.
Straight up, I stopped talking to people. We got together.
All right.
Just it sounds mean, but I mean I started spending more time with you, and stopped spending time with them, and because I'm trying to get to know you, I know them. You know, those my partners, so I feel like they would understand where I'm coming from as far as not being around, not being seen. So like I always feel like when a person disappears, they're gonna find true love. Or some type of love.
Or an abusive relationship.
They in some type of relationship. So, that just gives it away, when they disappear.
I guess for me, locally, the only person that I truly hung out with was my cousin.
Yeah.
And we both ended up in relationships around the same time.
Yeah.
Like, she and her husband started dating about 5 months into our relationship.
Yeah.
So, and he was around when you first met her and you and I were new.
Yeah.
So it's just like she was who I hung out with all the time. So it's like we both got into relationships. It didn't stop us from hanging out with each other.
Yeah.
We just hung out less.
Yeah.
Now we got husbands and kids. We hang out even less. So we just gotta get back up to the point of kicking it. We just can't kick it the way that we used to.
Yeah.
Because we used to go out. And I don't think that's his mom's.
Yeah, I used to go party.
Yeah.
Party. Let's all get wasted.
I don't think we got wasted.
I don't think y'all did either.
I think we would have casual sipping seas.
Oh, okay. Whatever works for you, man. I feel like, man, once like your friends should understand that what's going on. Mm-hmm. You know, if they're your friends and they're your true friends, they will get it. You know, they will understand like, hey, this person is, you know, essentially trying to, you know, maybe finding his wife. You know, so who am I to stand in between that?
Who are me?
Who are me? But I mean, like eventually it comes back around. You know, mm-hmm. And that friend gets introduced to that new relationship.
Mm-hmm. Or you can do like me and Nisha did.
What's that?
We forced you and Ricky to be friends.
Yeah, I didn't force her.
I
feel like
I won't say we forced it. We introduced it as a play date.
I really feel like that was more of a natural thing.
But
you
but
guys
like we
just placed
introduced
us into the circle together.
Yeah,
like,
but we introduced you guys as a play date via video game.
I'm just saying, if it wasn't for you guys, I will give you guys credit here. If it wasn't for you guys, I never would have met Ricky.
Right.
So I give you guys credit there, but I still feel like my friendship with Ricky is a more natural thing that just happened.
It's not just because he's Nisha's husband.
Right. You know, so
all right.
I always want to have some credit somewhere, man. I give you credit.
Give credit where credit is due.
Credit is due. Y'all put us in the same area.
All right.
So
cool.
But yeah, so I hope that answers that question.
Yep, I hope so.
Good.
And if you want to be a little bit more nosy, ask what you really want to know.
Okay. All right. So what's
I don't think the person wants to be nosy. Though.
Oh, okay. So what's our quote for the episode for the week?
So I had a hard time trying to find something that I could say because I'm trying on this journey of not cursing.
Yeah.
It's not going well. But I just picked a Jay-Z song, so you know.
You can't go wrong with that. Jay-Z's birthday was this month too.
It was like
December
about
4th.
a week ago.
About a week ago.
So he says, I'm a hustler, baby. I just want you to know.
Yep.
It ain't where I've been, but where I'm about to go. And it sounds like we're about to go because our child is not having it any longer.
Man. Kind of like that photo shoot. She was just, I'm done.
Yeah, done.
That's it. Yeah. No more, see more. Man, you can't go wrong with Jay-Z, so I'm with that. So, you guys get out there and date your spouse, and it's a two-way street. Mm-hmm. You know, so don't always believe that the man has to take the woman out. The woman has to take the man out at some time.
Are you okay? All right.
And,
so hashtag date more, date often.
Okay.
I'm hashtagging it.
Okay, hashtag it. I wasn't prepared for that, but okay. Hashtag whatever she just said.
Date more, date often.
Date more, date often. I want to thank you guys for listening to another episode of the August Love Story. This episode was produced by 3Amp Media. I want you guys to like and share this episode and all the other episodes as well. Comment on the episodes. Let us know what you think. Let us know about your date nights and what you guys do. As you heard in the episode, that we have a lot of work to do ourselves. So everything is not perfect, but it is a perfect relationship.
And Friday we're gonna date everybody because we're gonna do after show.
Oh yeah. The after show is Friday. What time?
The after show, 8 p.m. The after show is gonna be on our Eastern Standard Time, and it's gonna be on our Facebook page. I think this week we're gonna try to put it on Instagram Live as well.
We can do that.
I'm gonna try. I can't make any promises, but it will definitely be on our Facebook page. So go on the August Love Story Facebook page on Friday. We're both going to share it on our personal pages as well.
Yep.
And you'll be able to join the discussion about date night as well as everything else that we've discussed here in season 2.
Right. So,
and I want to know, everybody that has kids, how are y'all dating with them?
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Especially if you live in a city with limited family.
Right. Yeah. So we want to hear from you. Listener letters. We want to hear from you, so keep sending your letters in. We'll definitely answer those on the episodes. And yeah, also follow us on all social media. What we got: Instagram, August Love Story at August Love Story, Facebook at August Love Story. You can follow me, Tommy Townsend, 3rd on Instagram, Tommy Townsend on Facebook.
Artieka everywhere.
Artieka everywhere. That's so easy.
Artieka.
That's so easy, man. I was trying to get Tommy T, and it's just taken. Tommy T3, that was taken. Good grief, man.
That's why your mama's supposed to give you a unique name. Lily won't have that, but she can use her first and middle.
Yeah. She can use a middle name. She'll be straight.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man. So follow us on the social media. I want to give a shout out to the Speaker Geekers podcast, another podcast produced by 3M Media as well. So you guys go check them out too. That's me and my friend Steve.
The Derby Boys.
The Derby Boys.
I'm sorry, calling y'all that for real.
But yeah, man. So date night, August Love Story. I think that's it. So you guys have a great night, day, evening. Whenever you listen to this, enjoy whatever you're doing. So
okay, bye.
I'm out. Peace.
Bye, y'all.